Our sunroom is filled with windows, and we're going to trim them out.
All right, you got to go down a little bit down there. You good there now? I'm going to show you how we dress up our concrete stoop.
And then we'll show a new way to prep a shower floor for tile.
We're at Arnold Arboretum, and they have trees, shrubs, and vines from all over the world.
Well, last time we were out front here, the painters were hard at work. Now, we've had a bunch of rain, so they're not quite finished, but they will be soon. But in the interim, Roger, we've given you back domain of the front yard, and you've got some serious industry going on here.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the front yard.
It's all yours.
Well, you remember, we got a big walk coming right to the front door, so we dug out all the loamy material, and now we're putting in pack, which is a combination of 3/4 stone and stone dust.
And so on top of this, we've got, it was fieldstone going down, right?
That's right, the large 1824 2.5 pieces of stone that are going to lead you right down to the front door.
Okay, and we've also got a big pergola. It's going to be coming from the driveway right this way, making a 90-degree turn, and then going into the house, a big structure, and I guess that's what explains the footings that are going in.
Right, you got a serious structure, you need a good footing. Now what they're doing is they're backfilling the tube, and once they do that, they'll be ready for concrete, but they have to compact that material and make sure that it doesn't settle down because my walk's going to be on top of that. Kevin, the objective here is to dig the hole down 4 feet, which is the frost line.
And we've got how many footings going in?
6 in total.
So it's a big structure. I mean, we've got, what, 8 feet high, and I think I saw that it was about 40 linear feet of this whole thing. So you got to really secure it.
A lot of weight. And this is how they secure it. They put the form in the ground, then they put in this plastic tube in the center, and they line those up exactly because the post is going to have a 2.5-inch galvanized post coming out the bottom and slide right down into that tube. So then they put the concrete around it.
Right, this one's already set. We got this one going in right here. I've actually never seen this before, Roger, with the PVC inside the cardboard form.
Well, part of this they're doing for me, Kevin. I can now come in and put in the walkway. The pergola is still 4 to 6 weeks away from arriving on the job site. I'll get the walkway in and they'll be able to just come in without doing any damage to the walkway and set their posts.
Oh, and he just uses a 2x4 to compact that concrete all the way around the tube?
Right, but he's being careful to make sure his plastic tube is exactly where he wants it to be to accept the post later on.
All right. The pergola is part of the experience as you approach the house, but your stoop is the other part of the experience too.
We had a concrete landing, and on top of that, we're putting this bluestone.
So 2 inches thick, is that right?
That's right, and it's rock-faced on the front. That means they took a chisel and actually snapped it off to make it look antique, and then feel the surface. It's thermal, so it's not going to be slippery at all.
Okay, and you have scored the concrete footing right here. That's to receive the bluestone in the concrete?
Right, it's to lock the concrete into the footing.
Yep.
Now we're going to do the same thing to the bluestone.
Not too worried about the depth, Roger?
No, he's going to try to go down between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. If you go too deep, you could weaken the stone where it would crack. The other thing to worry about is having the saw come out the ends where you might be able to see a cut mark. So he's going to go in one direction, and then he'll turn and go 90 degrees for those cuts. Now we're going to sweep off the dust and wash it down. It's critical that we get all that dust out of there.
Why does the dust matter?
Because it could affect the bonding if we left it in there. Now the underside of the bluestone is so smooth that we want to make sure we get it good adhesion, so we use a bonding agent. Right there. What we're using is a combination of Portland cement and mortar, and this will make a great bed for our bluestone. Let me get this worked out a little bit, maybe one more here. I like a nice thick mix so it'll support the stone, and I like using dark mortar so it won't look brand new, it'll give it an aged look. All right, we're ready for the stone. Watch your step. Nice and easy. Tom, I'll take this end. You get the front? Okay. You want more to you? You good?
No, we're good.
Okay, nice and easy. Watch your hands. Okay, we gotta wiggle it back a little bit. Just a little. You good there now?
We're good.
Okay, gotta come down a little?
Yeah, it's gonna come down.
All right, let me take a bit.
This is just a fine-tune adjustment, Roger.
Yep. We just want to line everything up so there's no trip points and it's all nice and smooth. Looks pretty good, Kev.
Sure does. That's beautiful.
Ready for the next one. One of the most important things, Kevin, is getting all the mortar off the stone. And you got to do that as you go. You don't want it to dry on there, then it's really hard to get off.
Okay. So now you're just dressing up that final joint, Roger?
Finishing off the joints, you got to let them harden up just a little bit, and then we run the joiner over once, and they're done.
It's such an elegant step right. I mean, it's more than a step, it's actually a stoop. But we do have the exposed front here on the riser. How are you going to address that?
We're actually going to face that with stone. We have a stone we found that's going to match the color of a stone in our walk. It was at a quarry, and they took and sliced it so it's a 1/2 to 3/4 inch thin. We just put some thin set on the back of this, and it just goes right up in place.
I'd love to see that go in.
We're not using mortar, we are actually using thin set to hold this stone in place. We just put on a little bit, and we'll just stick it in place, snug it in tight, put a shingle in there just to hold it in place, and then we're on to our next piece. Before we start setting the stone, we go through and we pick ones that match each other, so that when it comes time to set the stone, it's just a matter of putting them in place.
Basically, you just dry lay them out?
Exactly. We do want to leave a little joint. We'll fill in that later on. Kevin, the last piece going in.
Looks terrific. Wow. And so where does grade come to?
Well, we're going to have a 6-inch step down, so grade's going to be right here, hiding all the bottoms of these stones.
Right, but not hiding these tops right here, and this is going to marry up with a whole field of, what, oversized field stones.
Big stones, and it just lead right into the walkway.
And I cannot wait to see that. Thank you, Roger.
You're welcome, Kev.
That looks beautiful.
Well, today the plasterers are putting the finishing touches on the first floor. The front hallway is complete, and wait till you see our new kitchen space. Completely plastered, it's looking great, and soon we'll have cabinets in here. Back here where our sunroom is located, look at this area. We have 180 degrees of windows. There's windows on every wall. In fact, I think there's more glass than there is plaster wall. And today we're going to start trimming them out. So Tommy, it looks like you've set up a full-blown shop here.
I did, Norm. We got a lot of work to do, so I set the shop up right here. Let's start right here with a molding machine and some custom knives, because we have to match the old trim detail right here, so we can run whatever we want. We've got a vacuum system, we've got a table saw, a workbench.
And you have a router station.
We have a router station because we have to do some profiles.
Right. And we're going to get started on this wall right here. This bank of windows we're going to treat as one big unit when we trim it out.
Right. And this is how we're going to trim it. Built a little mock-up to show you. Right up here at the top you can see the corner, and you can also see the detail that we have.
Yeah, you have a couple different joints here.
Right. We have a butt joint and a miter joint. All right, now we also have to make this profile and ease these edges. Down here we have our window stool that's nosed on the end as a return and across the front. And an apron, again, to match the original detail with a return on it.
Right. And we'll start, I guess, with the extension jambs.
Yeah, we'll start installing those.
These extensions are nice, Tom. They're pre-finished.
Right, the extension jambs are pre-finished, and so isn't the interior of the window. So we're going to eyeball this and center it in the window. I got about 7/8 of an inch there.
That's about the same here.
Okay, so let's mark. Okay, now I want a square line right here.
And I'll do the same here.
Okay, now if you want to hold that up,
All right.
now what I want to do is I want to take the side jam and I want to line it right up with that pencil line. Make it flush on the outside edge right here. And now I'll put a nail in it. Ooh, make it flush right up here. There we go. Okay, now I'll put a couple of nails in that. Okay, let's see if we can get it up there. Okay, now we want to square up the extension jamb to the window. All right, now I got to take a couple of shims, put them in there. Put one shim in, fat end in first, second shim in, fat end in. Now I'm going to take another shim, put it in between them, push the extension jam out, and I'm going to check it for square. I need to bring this end out a little more. Looks pretty good right there. And now I'll pin that with a nail. Make sure that's in, and I'll shoot a nail in it.
All right, and I'm doing the same thing on this side. Check it for straightness. That's nice. Put another nail in.
So the window stool is a single piece that's going to run across all three of these openings, and you've got it centered, Tommy?
Right, we've got it centered. The next thing we want to do is we want to mark for the length. And then I also want to mark for the cutouts right here so that we can slide it in to meet the window. So I'm going to measure from the edge of the stool to the inside of the window, and that's 3 15/16. So I take my tape, put it against the plaster. Follow the little bit of a contour on the wall there. I mark 3 15/16 here. I take my square, I bring it in, hold it on the stool, and I slide it over till I hit the wall. I now pull it back slightly, and I mark that. This is the piece we're going to cut out right here, and that's our length.
And then we do the same thing for the two mullions. Pull it back.
Okay, you measure from the back side of the stool to the window.
4 even.
All right, 4 even. Now this mull post is going to be covered with a piece of 3/4, so you can add 1/8 of an inch with no problem.
4 1/8. 4 even. Yeah. So another 4 1/8.
Right. All right, now connect those dots. Okay, good. And that's the piece we're going to take out. You all set down there, Norm?
Yep.
All right, let's take it to the table. Back here on our markup, you can see the detail that we did on the stool. We rounded over the end and all along the front edge. Norm's going to do that with a router. All right, with the stool cut and sanded, let's see how it fits. How you down there, Norm?
Looks great.
Okay.
Perfect
All right,
down here.
Okay, let's take it out. I want to run a bead of glue right along this edge. All right, let's get it in there. All right, we in against the windows?
Yep. Good here. Ah, beauty. Now to join the window units together, we've installed a nice wide piece of poplar. The edges have been eased, and we left a nice 1/4 inch reveal.
Now here on the end casing, it's going to sit right against the extension jamb like that. But this extension jamb doesn't make it all the way out to the face of the plaster because of the wall thickness. So to make up for that little difference, we actually took the casing and we put a little filler on the back like that, 1/4 inch filler. So now when we put it on the wall against the casing, go just like that.
Okay, good over here.
Good? Okay.
Now remember, this part of our casing is a butt joint. The next part of our casing, which is this molding right here, is a 45-degree miter. What we're going to do is we're going to glue this and tack it on. And now a few headless tacks. Okay, Norm, first window, all done.
Biggest window done.
That's right. Looks good, though.
It sure does.
With our pergola on its way, Allison and I dropped by the Arnold Arboretum to see if we could find the right climbing vine.
And you know, I would love to have something big and green growing up over that pergola.
Meet horticulturist Sue Pfeiffer.
Hi, how you doing?
She helped us wind through the Arboretum's collection of over 100 vines.
Let me take you here to the wisteria.
And with vines, the key is to match your site conditions to the vine's natural growth patterns.
So what can you tell us about the growing properties of this vine?
It's a very vigorous vine. This one's about 5 years old. What typically happens with wisteria is it tends to grow upward, and then once it reaches the top of the structure, it tends to grow outward.
This one I recognize. This is hops.
This is a very fast-growing vine. This is 1 year's growth right here.
This one is so vigorous, you can cut it to the ground in the fall and it'll grow this tall by the end of next spring.
These are the flowers that are used to produce beer.
This one gets my vote.
This is the woodbine honeysuckle. It flowers profusely in the spring with these nice white and cream-colored flowers, and then sporadically until the fall.
And the birds love these berries.
This is the very popular clematis we have here, and we can see how good this is climbing vertically. But once it gets to the top, it's not really good at horizontal growth. The reason why people really like this is for the flower.
Take a look at this leaf though. Great green color, and look at the serrated edge on that. This is really a nice plant.
Sue, what can you tell us about this vine? The dark glossy leaves really caught my eye.
This is called Berkemia, and it's native to the United States.
Sue, thanks for all the great information. There's a lot more choices than we ever thought.
Yep, let's go see some more.
The name of the game on the second floor is restraint. So a lot of the original trim is still in place, and most of the doors are exactly where they were when we started. Now across the way is another bedroom, and we had an interesting visit early on in this project. One of the children who grew up in this room, who is now 60 years old, came by, and he was very thrilled to see that we hadn't changed his room very much. Of course, we did put in new windows with new trim, and we removed the old cast iron radiators that were recessed in the wall, insulated it and plastered it, a little bit of new baseboard. So this room is just about ready for paint and refinishing of the floors. Now across the way is the master bedroom, and we did make a couple changes there. We added some closets, his and her closets, and by adding this closet, we actually gave the master bedroom a little more privacy. And this is a great room. You get a lot of windows. Out this window, you get the wooded view. Out the windows here in the back, you get a view of the Charles River. And if that's not enough, our homeowners can step outside onto a deck and enjoy the outdoors. Now off the master bedroom is the master bath, and Rob Raffs, our tile contractor, is getting started. Now Rob, originally there were 2 small bathrooms connected together. The whole family was sharing 1 tub, so this is a bit of an improvement.
Yeah, that wasn't much of a master bathroom.
No. Now what's the plan for the tile in here?
Well, it's a mosaic carpet. It comes out like this,
Yeah.
meets the cabinet, and then it comes this way, goes right out the door.
And what's the material? Is it stone or tile?
It's stone.
Oh, that's going to look great. Now that's not here yet, but we are ready to start working on this shower, and we're going to get into the mud.
And it is a mud job.
Now traditionally a mud job for a shower floor is a very dry mix that has to be level around the perimeter and then very carefully pitched towards the drain.
And there's a lot to it. A lot of effort goes into that. Because you have to work the concrete in here, and you have to get it just right everywhere. Perfect. Now I'm going to show you a different system. It works really well, it's just as good, and it comes out perfect.
All right, what's this?
This is a weep ring. It goes down first, so if any water penetrates the concrete, it will go down the drain.
Okay, so it just goes down these grooves.
Yes. And then you take this, which receives the drain,
Okay, so our drain up here.
and you screw this in, right through there. Now my drain's in place. Now I'm going to take you to these sticks, Norm. Look at this.
Wow, these are tapered. They're about 1 inch on this end and about 1 3/4 inches on the other end.
Now this is the heart of the system. Now this end interlocks into my ring. So when it goes down, it acts as my screed and the form. What I'm doing here is I'm going to take a measurement from this corner to my ring where the slot is that's going to receive the stick. Then you want to measure every corner because they're not all the same in this particular shower. I got my measurements, now we're ready to cut. Now I'm shimming the pitching sticks to maintain the pitch and my level line. And I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move when I pour the concrete in. Cool. Here's what I've done. I've established pitch to the drain, and in the back, I've established that it's level between these two sticks.
And by leveling each stick one to the other all the way around the perimeter, you have consistent pitch to the drain.
Correct. Now I'm blocking the drain so no cement can go down into it. Now we're ready to mix.
In the past, we've mixed the correct portions of sand and Portland, but here we're using a pre-mixed mud. It's a lot easier.
Now I'm going to trowel it in. What I'm doing here, Norm, is to try to get the cement to go through these holes and underneath it to key it so it all becomes one big piece of cement. This is a really loose mix, so it gets underneath the sticks, through the holes, and keys this all together. Because today, this is really loose. Tomorrow, it'll be rock solid. Then I can come in with a nice dry mix and pack it solid, because these aren't going to move.
And your rails will be used with your screed to get a nice, smooth surface, and then you'll be ready for tile.
Yes.
Nice start, Rob.
Thanks, Norm.
Well, it has been quite a day. We're almost ready for tile. Most of the trim has been installed, and soon we'll be ready for paint. So until next time, I'm Norm Abram for This Old House.